Hello, everybody. Just trying to see if I'm live and if you guys can hear me. You guys can hear me. I had no intention of showing up live tonight. As a matter of fact, I should be in my bed. I'm just going to invite some people to come on over and enjoy this live. Just inviting some people. As you guys come in, just say hello. It is 9:50 p.m. here where I am. I really should be in my bed because I had a little procedure this morning. So I'm in pain right now. Yes, that's me, girl. That's me. I'm so happy you guys are here. Come, we got some stuff to talk about. This is our end of year conversation. Like I said, I had no intentions of going live tonight, but I just got off a virtual meetup with my mentor and my mentee sisters, and some things came up for me that made me say, you know what, I want to come to you guys. I want to come to the squad. I want to share some of what we talked about, some of my thoughts for the end of the year. Hey, Katrina, what's up, girl? Yes, I'm awake. I'm awake. So before I'm going to give everybody a little time to come in and just tell you guys what happened today. So first of all, we had an amazing time last night, right, Zamisha? Right, Katrina? Y'all who was here with us last night for the soiree, right? We had a wonderful time last night. I ended up staying up really late, and I had a doctor's appointment this morning to get a bone marrow biopsy done, right? So those of you who are new to the community, you may not know everything that's going on with me, but you'll learn, right? And so right now I have like right here in my back is killing me because they had to stick me with long needles, like 10 of them today, and it was a lot. So I really should be in bed, but I didn't want to miss my mentee and my mentor, my mentee sister and my mentor call. And so I was on that call since 7, and now it's 9:50. So I was getting ready to go upstairs, but I said, you know what? I have to come and share what we just talked about because it's you know, this is the time. It's the end of the year. We're getting ready to enter in 2021. We've been through so much for 2020, and it's important that we're in the right mindset to enter into a new year, right? So that's why I'm here. Hey, y'all, as y'all come in, say what's up. Who's here? Teresa, hi, how are you? So I'm going to just jump on in. The first thing that my mentor shared that has really stuck with me is, you know how they have that saying that when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Have you ever heard that saying? If you heard that saying before, just give me a 1 below, okay? And so this is a saying that we hear a lot in business. And here's what my mentor said. My mentor said her new way of saying this is, when the student is ready, find your teacher. So she said, when the student is ready, find your teacher. And she shared a little story with us that she was working with 2 mentors and 1 femtor this year. One of her mentors, they are overseas somewhere, and there was some calls that she had to get on at about 4 in the morning, and how she made it her business to get on those calls because it was very important to her. And when she said that, that was the first thing that I knew that I wanted to share with you all, because on my journey, I have learned that oh so well, that when something, you don't have to go, you know, when a student is ready, you should be the one finding your teacher. Right? When you're in a space of wanting to grow a business, wanting to create change, make an impact, grow a legacy, whatever it is, you have to get into the mindset of responsibility, resourcefulness, relentlessness. When you really want something, you're going to get stuff done. So you look at me here and people are like, wow, Niala's showing up. Niala's doing this. I've had so many people say that over the months, that how can you be dealing with, you know, cancer? How can you be dealing with all of this and still show up? Is because it's important to me to serve. And it's just as important to me to create a legacy for my children, right? And so that means that I am going to do whatever it takes, because I am a student that is ready, that's ready to learn, that's ready to expand, and that's ready to do what I'm called to do. And so that's the first thing that I want to bring across, is that when you are serious about what you are doing in your life, you will not make excuses. you will get things done, even if it means that you have to show up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, even if it means that you have to sit, in this chair until 7, from 7 p.m. with your back aching. You're going to do it because there's something greater that's more important to you. Do you guys get where I'm going with that? Hey, Anita, thank you for joining. So that's the first one. When the student is ready, find your teacher. I know I can share another story with you about my mentor. Her name is Linda Clemens. You can actually search her in this group because she was here a few months ago doing a sales interview with me. So definitely search her up in this group. But I remember I heard about her in 2017. And when I first heard about her, she, and all her experience and her amazingness in the sales industry, I was impressed. I was intrigued, and I knew that I wanted to learn from her. And that year I could not really afford her, and so I followed. And then in 2018, I was blessed to be able to be a power coach for the Power Networking Conference, and she was the salesperson for that conference. So I was put in front of her again, and this time I was able to work closely with her. Still couldn't afford her, but the next year came and I said, I'm ready now, and I went after her. She didn't have to come after me. I was like, listen, I want to work with you. What's the investment? What do I have to do? So that's what it means when it says, when the student is ready, find your teacher. Okay. It's no longer, the teacher's just going to appear. Okay. You have to be relentless. You have to want it so bad that you're going to do what is necessary. So that's the one thing that I know, or the number one thing that I know I'm going to take into 2021. I'm going to continue to take, and I would hope that you will as well. If you're serious, get it done. Stop the excuses. Okay. Second thing that I've learned, or second thing that I want to pass along to you. I have so much notes here. I'm sorry. So this one says, when you give, forget, and when you receive, remember. I'm going to say that again. When you give, forget, and when you receive, remember. Man, when I heard that, it got me going. Because in this entrepreneur space, I see so many women who complain so much about how much they do for people and people don't show up for them. And while we are human, and while I know that it hurts sometimes when you do and you feel like you're not, that doing is not being reciprocated, it's not the mindset on how, that's not the mindset of service. Does that make sense? That's not the mindset of service, right? So when you give, you should forget, because you should be giving from your heart. You should be giving because you want to help people. You want to share. You want to serve. So you shouldn't hold on to those things. But when you receive, when people do for you, then you should have a mindset of gratitude. That's what that means, right? So when you receive, never forget. Right? When you receive, always remember, always be in a space of a gratitude, always pay that forward. Right? And so we have to get out the mindset of playing victim. We have to get out the mindset of expecting just because we gave. Because if that's the mindset and the way that you are approaching your life or your business, that is the main reason why it's not being reciprocated. It's because you're not doing it with a clean heart. Okay. And I remember, I don't even want to remember when, but I remember I don't know when, but I remember putting a post out, and I said, you wouldn't be so angry about people not showing up for you if you were showing up with the right spirit. Because giving should never have an attachment to it. You should never be looking for something in return when you're truly giving. Okay. So when you give, forget, and when you receive, always remember, always be in a space of gratitude. Here's the next thing. Release what's not serving you so you can walk into your purpose. Release things that's not serving you. Release people who's not serving you. Release the negative things that's in your life, because positivity cannot grow within negativity. I had another coach that told me a couple of years ago that people don't have business problems. They have personal problems that show up in their business, right? And so that means that, again, going back to your spirit, going back to who you are as a woman and how you want to show up in the world, right? You have to be a genuinely good person. You understand? You have to you want to be always in positivity. You don't want negativity around you all the time, because if negativity is always around you, then how can you actually walk into your purpose? How can you create positivity for others, right? Your head is clouded up. So you have to release what's not serving you anymore. If procrastination is holding you back, release it. If fear is holding you back, release it. If gossip is holding you back, release it. The things that are not serving you, the things that are keeping you out of alignment, out of doing what you are meant to do, you need to release it for 2021. You know, I was at, was it church? I think it was church. On Saturday, someone had said that they was looking at a sermon, and the pastor said that 2020 might have just been your best year yet. But because we are only looking at the negative things, we can't truly see our blessings. And that one is real, because me being diagnosed with cancer this year, and that's not all I've been through this year. There are things that I haven't even shared yet, right? And me going through the things that I've been through this year, I know that the only reason why I'm still standing, well, one of the reasons besides God, why I'm still standing is because of my positive attitude and my positive mindset and the way that I approach everything that happens in my life. And so I want to pass that along to you. If you want to create a positive life that feels good, you are going to have to release what is no longer serving you and who is no longer serving you. Okay? So that's the next one. Here's another one. I really have so many notes here. Slay in your lane. Ooh, I love that one. Slay in your lane. So what she was telling us was that she's a speaker, right? So she speaks for businesses like Twitter and the airlines and Louis Vuitton and all these different big companies, these corporate companies. She speaks, and she's in these rooms where a lot of these people would ask her, well, do you know a speaker in the finance industry or, you know, whatever industry? And she would always say to them, you know, I have someone that I can refer to you. And people would continue to say to her, no, but can you speak? Can you speak? You know, they like her charisma. They like her stage presence. So they'll be like, well, can you help us? Can you help us? And she says she continues to tell them no, because that's not her lane, right? And so it's important that you learn how to slay in your lane. And when she said that, that spoke to me, especially because I'm all about messaging and I understand what it means to master something, right? And so I want to talk about that for a minute. When it comes to creating authority, I had a lot of people in the networking event last night that was talking about, you know, being able to be known for something, right? So they can expand their reach. When it comes to positioning, you have to master your lane. And so if you are somebody who's claiming to be good at everything, it's a little suspect. All right. So I want to encourage you all to find your lane and slay in your lane. Become a master at what you do so you can get paid what you deserve and so you can truly help, again, those who you are meant to serve. Okay. So again, let me go over it. I have some more that I'm going to go through, but I'm not going to go through tonight because I have another idea for that. So number one was, what was number one? Number one was, when the student is ready, find your teacher. Number two was, when you give, forget, and when you receive, always remember, right? So always be in a space of gratitude and never in a space of grudges, okay? Never in a space of grudges. And that's another thing. You know what pisses me off? What pisses me off, and I guess I've been in this industry for a long time. And sometimes what pisses me off is when I see a lot of people in this space who says things like, I'm the bomb. I did it all. You know, I'm everything. I. And you rarely ever hear them mention others, the people who have helped them along the way. And I sometimes wonder if their life is what they portray it to be online. Because in my experience, I know for me, I can only speak personally. I've never really gotten far without showing gratitude to those who helped me. You know, like there are people who I don't even mess with no more. Like I could keep it real with y'all. There are people in this industry that I don't even mess with anymore. But when their name is called, I always give the credit where it's due, because in my heart, I'm thankful. And I know that I didn't get here alone, you know, and I feel like that's another thing that helps me continue to win, you know. So when you receive, guys, you have to know how to be thankful, and you have to not be shy about giving people their credit, because you are only going to be blessed, right? Giving other people the credit that has helped you along the way, it doesn't take anything away from you. It actually gives you more. Does that make sense? You actually get more from that. So when you receive, always be in a place of gratitude and forget thinking about who you've done for and what, you know, forget it. I mean, if I was to think about that. Okay. So what was number 3? Slay in your lane. Slay in your lane. Become a master at what you do. Release what's not serving you so you can freely walk in your purpose. This is what I want to pass along to you all for 2021. I also want to share my word for 2021. And I would like you guys to share your word for 2021. If you don't know what that means, every year in this entrepreneur space, we always come up with a word that we want to embody for the next year. For me, that word is legacy. I shared that on the call tonight. For me, that word is legacy. You know, when I got diagnosed in April, the first thing I thought was, what am I leaving my children? Am I where I want to be? Are they going to be okay? Are my grandchildren that I don't even know yet, are they going to be okay? Am I going to be able to provide for them even if I'm not here? And so my word for 2021 is legacy, because everything I am going to do moving forward, if I haven't already, is going to be thinking about my legacy. And so I want to know, what's your word for 2021? What are you going to embody? What changes are you going to make? Deborah said growth. I love that. I love that, because growth is, you know, growing. If you're not growing, you're dying. That's what they say. If you're not growing, you're dying. So I love that. Anybody else want to share their word? Katrina said hashtag gratitude. I love that. Anybody else want to share their word? Man, that call was amazing. It wasn't even supposed to go so long. My feet is swollen right now, y'all. My back is throbbing right now, but I'm glad I went on. Legacy. Yes, that is the word. That is the word. What are we doing to create change? What are we going to do to grow? What are we going to do to continue to grow our legacy? How are we going to show gratitude to others? How are we going to release the negativity and the fears and the limiting beliefs that's holding us back? You know it is. You know it is. Demetia said productive. I love that. Katrina said alignment. That's a big one. Kim said evolve. I love that. Yes, this is how you all have to go into the new year, with intention. Create your word, you know, get in a space of forgiveness. That's something that I've learned this year. You know, when I got sick, I thought about family members that I wasn't speaking to. I thought about friends that I dropped along the way because I was so focused on growing my business. I got back to the things that are important. And that's what I want you to do. Anita said, just do it. I love that. That means that you're no longer going to let anything stop you. You're going to go out there and you're going to get what you need. And I've been seeing that in you, Anita. So I'm happy to hear you say that because I have been seeing the changes and I know that you feel the changes within you and it's only going to get better from here. It's only going to get better. So yeah, that's my message for you all tonight. I am going to come back because I do have 10 things that I want to share, but I think I'm going to do that for the 31st, right before New Year's. Ooh, I could share something else. This is something that I learned this year. So I am of West Indian descent, right? And I'm sure it's not only West Indians, but that's what I can speak to. In my culture, we always have this thing where we don't accept help. And it's not even accepting help, but not showing vulnerability, not showing that you need help because you always got to be on top of things. And that's how I've always been, right? So in my circles, in my friendships, I've always been the person that people can call on and I'll always be available and there to help. But I've never been the person that would ask for help. And so when I got diagnosed this year, a lot of people know me, right? So I started getting all these messages from colleagues and, my peeps and, people were offering help. Niala, how can I serve you? How can we help you during this time? And I continued to say, I'm all right. Oh no, I'm good. Thank you. All I need is prayers. That's all I kept saying. And so, right before I got into ICU, which was in July, I have another colleague and I needed some help, put it that way. I needed some help on my team. And so I reached out and all I did was I put my pride down and I reached out and I said, hey, you asked me if I need anything. I don't really need anything, but what you can do is you can refer a VA to me that's experienced in this area. And she said, oh, that's what you need? You need a VA? I can do one better. And she got me she sent me this file. She told me to fill it out. Within 24 hours, I got a call from her team. Okay. And her team is like all over the world. They got on the phone with me on the Zoom. They interviewed me, asked me questions regarding their recruitment agency, which I totally forgot that one of her companies that she owns is a recruitment agency. And so right away, I got on the phone with them. They interviewed me. Within 2 weeks, I had a new person on my team. They had a short list of people for me to interview. I was able to interview and have another person on my team to help me. And the only reason why that happened was because I put my pride down and I was willing to ask for the help and accept the help that was being offered to me. So that's another thing that I want to pass along, another lesson that I learned this year. And it's not because I don't know that people can help me, because I know that. But again, a lot of times we have these things that stick with us from childhood, from the way we were raised, the communities that we were in, that we don't realize that we bring this into our adult life. We bring this into our business. And sometimes these are the very things that's stopping us from being able to grow, right? And so for me, one of the things that I've learned is to be okay with accepting help. And if you're someone who can resonate with me here, I want you to be okay with accepting help, okay? So you see how we're all in this group. We're growing together. We're all businesswomen. And, be willing to give and be willing to receive the help when it's being given. You cannot be so stush. And for those of you who do not know what that means, in my culture, it's kind of like you're so either stuck up or don't want to get into crowds. I don't know. Sometimes it's because you're introverted. So I want to make sure I say that. If you're an introvert, I get it. Right? I'm like extremely extrovert, right? I'm an extreme extrovert. But if you're an introvert, I get it. But I also know that for you to get where you're trying to go in your business, you're going to have to break out of those ways. You're going to have to be willing to work with other people. You're going to have to be willing to ask for help. You're going to have to be willing to accept help. All right. And so that's another thing that I want to pass along to you all tonight. I think that's it. I'm going to leave everything else for later. Intentionality. I love that. All right. So if you got something from this, let me know below. If you're looking at this on the replay, let me know what your word for 2021 is. I want to encourage you all to stay connected with each other. And I want to encourage you all to live on purpose. Okay. Do everything that you want to do on purpose, because that is the only way that you are going to accomplish your goals and you're going to reach the levels in the places that you want to reach. All right. So good night. I'm going to definitely go upstairs now. I am exhausted. Today was a long day. I need you all to pray for me. Okay. So health-wise, health update is that y'all know I was in remission. I relapsed. I don't think that I let you all in the group know that I relapsed. So I did relapse, and that's why I had to start a new treatment protocol. And so the bone marrow biopsy that they did today is to find out if I'm back in remission and then be on the road to a transplant. So I do have to have a transplant. So I have my own things happening, right? I have so many things happening, but if I don't share those things with you, you'll never know. Why? Because my spirit, you understand? I'm happy, truly happy, right? And that's only because of some of the things that I shared with you tonight. Releasing people who don't belong, releasing things, negativity out my life, forgiving. This year has been a year, and I'm truly blessed and grateful to be here, and you should be too. So on that note, pray for me, and I will speak to you all soon.